you give up at that point? Do you cry? What happens? It's about time you started having a vision for yourself. And just know that 99% of the time, your vision might not happen till you do what? You face the challenges in the vision. That's why, for those that are Christian, they wrote Habakkuk to write the vision, make it plain. The person that added, though he tarry, is not a fool. You know what is tarry? Let me tell you. Vision I wrote 2010. Do you know when I started, the results started coming out? I promise you, the first time I saw a big sign of the result was 2018. Some of them started manifesting last year. 2010. 13, 14 years. But guess what? There's no day I have not put in 15 hours. It's impossible for me to be alive and not do 50 hours of work. Even when I'm sick. Even when I'm sick. I slept 2 a.m. last night. I was up 5 a.m. For straight 13 years. Do you know what that is? That's what they call insane focus. When they was broke, see the way I'm talking, my voice has even gone down. When I was broke, I was even louder. If you go watch if you see my videos when I was broke, I even had more guts. I will be telling you that I will buy 2 jets. One is black, one is white. After 2015. There's none of my mentees that don't know the colors of my 2 jets. He don't come. No, he go come. What is this? For sure. That's my reality. Is your own? It's my reality. And we have 2. When I started Kura, we made 40,000 naira. First year, 2018, 0 revenue. 2019, 0 revenue. 2020, we made 40,000 naira. The whole year. And our called meeting were 6. I told them we're going to make 1 billion. My friend, he's not a fully. He's not. I can't. He's a hawk. He said, "Oh, Dick, so you're not coming." I said, "Keep quiet. We just focus. We will see how we make 1 million naira or 2 million naira." I said, "We're making 1 billion." I screamed it like this because it's my reality. It's not his own. Then I now started looking for how would I do fintech that will give me 1 billion because I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go. I can't be making 40,000. I need to be in a car that has AC. I need to live in Lekki. I have a vision. My vision is not in Ajambadi. My vision is here. So my friends believed, but they did not believe. They believe because they've seen my hard work in the past. They'll be shocked that we didn't get the 1 billion. But we got something very substantial that year. We were going close to almost 300-400 million because we set a vision and we carried it almost 300 million. By the next year, 1 billion is a joke. You want to say it's a joke? I couldn't have been able to see it. I couldn't have been able to achieve it if I did not see it. Because at the time, all of us, if you see me, we were staying in Shomolo. Nobody will believe her. Nobody will believe it. So, vision. See, if you want a job in the future and you've not sat down to write the names of the companies you want to work in, what it takes for you to work in that place and start building towards it, then you're not serious. You don't really want that thing. If you want me to play table tennis with you now, let's play table tennis. You know what I will do? Me, Dixon, I will go back home, I will on YouTube. Best table tennis player in the world. I will read the book on table tennis. I will watch all the video. Every night I'll be playing alone. Next week when you meet me, let's start. I will wipe you. I'm that competitive. Common table tennis, not to talk of business. Common table tennis. You have to be that serious. Nothing is by chance. I say even if it's in play, you should be serious in play. You know those people that in your class that they will write the exam, they will ask extra shit that we used to laugh at. I was part of the people laughing, and then in life you better be like that. They said they should explain one way. They explained one way and explained the second way to the teacher and had QE'd. You better be like that in life. You better be like that in life. Which means that when you approach anything, you don't approach it with a face value. Oh, they said I should come for interview. Where am I going for the interview? Who will interview me? What's the company? What are the videos on the interview? Before you go, you don't prepare like 70 times. As you enter the interview, like the more you open your mouth, power. The person said will receive. One investor called me for a meeting yesterday. He said, I just need to ask you a few questions. A few questions. The night before I called my whole team, we sat down, what are the potential questions? I came into the meeting with a deck of 7 pages. By the time I was done, the investor was sending messages across all the people on the investor. No, my guys, they said, this guy is hot. You want to talk to me, to give me money, and you expect me to come empty-handed? No, I have a deck, sir. See the deck here. I have a good use of your money, the millions of dollars you want to give me. Here. I just went off. By the time I was done, power, he received. And I will collect his money. So my message to you is don't take life like a fun fair. Life is a warfare. Everything is serious. The curve is serious. The project you do is serious. Apply to 100 internships. Apply to 1,000 like me. I applied to 1,000 when I was jobless. I only got one reply. And that reply was the unpaid internship. 1,000. Would they beat you for failing 999 times? Does anybody know? Who knows that you applied 999? Nobody ID card you here. Do you know how many times you applied for Cohort? Everybody doesn't know. Nobody cares how many times you fail. What people care about what is the success. I applied 1,000 and I got only unpaid internship and I took it with my whole heart. So you can't be here and you are 2 months to go and you say I only applied to 3 internships. There is Claude, there is ChatGPT. Find me all the internship available in Nigeria. Find all remote internship available around the world. Create my CV for me. Apply 1,000 times. Insane obsession and focus on what you want to achieve. So my job is I should have done this before now, and I know that I have messed up because nobody is supposed to say probably. I probably doesn't exist in my dictionary. Will I have 2 jets? I'm telling you ahead. If you like one Babalawo, I will buy one and carry him inside. I will have 2. White and black. So if they say, will you get a job soon? No, it's probably. No, probably it's for somebody that does not know what they are doing to get the job. Will you get a job? I have a revelation, I have a vision to get into a company. What does the company need? The company needs my front-end proficiency skills to be on X level. So what do? I start building myself towards what? X level. I take the courses, I practice, I find a mentor, I find 2 people, I say, give me a free project. I'm doing the free project. As I'm doing the free project, I'm doing another project. Guess what? As I'm doing all of this, I'm applying. I have 16 CVs. One is for front end, one is for back end, one is for product manager, one is for designer, one is not job. Bring it. I have everything. I'm applying everywhere and I'm growing everywhere. There is no possibility for. See, a man that is not hungry will not be fed. You have to be hungry. And your hunger cannot depend on whether this curve is successful or not, whether they give me a job. No! Thank you, Kelechi. Thank you, Cynthia. You have done your job. Move away. Move away. There is one of my boys here that was always coming. he wasn't in the core, but he was basically like, we took the core curriculum and gave him, and he was sleeping in one of my apartments. One of the floor, it was not, in fact, there was one that was sleeping on the floor, there was another one he fell. So when the core does something, they share with him. We just follow the curriculum, and we're doing. He stayed 2 years, right? And he didn't really work in Quran because he was not good enough there. But he was doing like different jobs. Then he got a job in a bank, Access Bank, which is, see, don't worry. I say if you look for intent, you will find all of these are opportunities. He got it from 150k salary and 600k a month. Then another 1 year, he comes to my office and tells me, sir, thank you. I know you didn't give me a job, at least you helped me get out to where I'm celebrating. He showed me his offer letter, Portugal. I said, 4,000 euros a month. He flew back, he gave me 400 euro that I should share to the core. Did I show you people or not? I didn't touch the money. I brought the money and I gave it to you people. Guess what? I went to Portugal to see him last month. He hosted me. I was proud. Now, one of you will host me in London. Yeah. One of you will host me in Portugal. Another person will host me in China even. Another person will host me in America. But you cannot host me if you don't have the power and vision to see yourself there. You cannot host me if you do not have the tenacity. Do you know how much challenge? That boy, cry baby. He cried. They said they will kick us out of the apartment. He will cry. He's just a cry baby. But he's the one that is blessing the God. So things will deter you. By the way, the guy, this person I'm talking about, I don't want to rubbish him, but it was a tough journey for him, I know. In 3 years, 3 to 4 years, he stuck to it. He used to do something in the past that used to give him small money. And I advised him, this thing you are doing, you can be making 5k, 10k on the jobs, but you are robbing yourself for programming. It's better to not make that money and focus on programming. So that one day, the money you make from here will cover everything you should have made from here. But when you start doing 2, one day you just say, oh, in this programming, going to make I collect my urgent 10k while we use the job. And that's how it goes, and from there you are out. So I hope with these few words, your mind is recalibrated. I hope with these few words, when you go today, you will close your eyes like this and open this one. You will write down what you expect from your family, what you expect from your career, what you expect from your business, and you write it down, and feel free to write it here. Write it down, write it across the pages. But after writing it, just know that if you do not know what you need to do to get that thing, you are being delulu. So you need to know, I want this, what do I need to do to get that? And it can be small. And the moment you know what you need to do to get that, you do what? Focus. Thank you very much. I always do this at the end of the class. But for this class, we first time, we normally give 50,000. But at the end, we'll give you people in this middle and at the end for the first time. Kelechi knows how to do it, so I wish you all the best.
we got in next term. So you started building products, I mean, you got your first seed investment. Okay, everybody. Hope you are still ready to learn. Moving on to our next mentorship session. Hello? Hello? Let's be disciplined, please. I told you already. I saw someone. I'll talk about that later. Mentorship session. Now we're talking about building scalable products. Taking us on that is a product designer. He sees himself as more of a conduit shaping ideas into experiences. People can use these products that he builds and enjoy them. He's mostly drawn to quiet details that make things feel effortless, thoughtful and right, while also focusing on how design can unlock momentum, support growth, and make the work actually work. So, we are going to hold on a bit. Hold on a bit. I know some of us are already agitated. Somebody was already telling me in the bus that Mr. Collins, this is it too. I've not done this, I've not done that, I've not, you understand? So we are going to try and, you understand? Do everything in this mouth top. So for the next couple of minutes, we are going to do that and then we'll continue with our mentorship session. Are you fine with that? Who is that person over there? Who? I told you not to call that boy. What's his name? No. Alright, so let's hold. Please, everybody sit down. Don't go anywhere. Don't do the quarter.
Drop it on. Is there someone there? Hey, sorry. Just let me pass down.
Hello, you have 5 minutes wrap up, please. 5 minutes, yeah. If you're outside, come inside. You have 2 minutes to settle down.
Remember this password. You remove this thing from this phone. You will remove it. You have to find the way and remember that iPad. Because you can't go with this one if you don't do this one. So you have to remove it.
I think altogether it should be 6 or 7. So it just makes substitute. Nobody can find no. That's why guys, the same class that has 6.
So you're not going to.
I think this time.
This phone needs to go out. You don't go out. Nobody can use that right now.
Oh, that's why I said, will you be available? On Monday, then maybe I will come out. Myself, then I will come out.
You will come on Monday. Give me that one. So that is what I will show
Well, have you taken water?
settle down. Settle down means finish eating and stop talking. All right. It's okay. I know you're excited. Hello. Please settle down. If you have your paper, I can put it here. If you still have chicken, I'm not following. Where's your... And are you finished eating? Huh? You had chicken. Make sure you're eating chicken because you need it too. No less. I forget. All right. Let somebody take this one outside. Again. I don't know. Okay, let me ask a couple questions. Did you think throw this in the way now? Since you were not there when I went there. Even you. Hurry up now, eat fast. Okay. If I point at you, you give me the 3 attributes of an ego. Alright, I'm going to point at the person I believe will not give me the answer. Now, if you give me the answer, you have cleared my doubts. You understand? Be proud of yourself. Please, we don't want to continue this session and we have people eating. Finish it. If you don't want to finish it now, put it back. They continue. Do you understand? Alright. So, let me see who I think cannot give me the answer. Don't raise your hand. Ebere, give me. Oh, Ebere is even they do expo. They are taking notes. Not things like this. All right, we'll go to the next session, which is building scaling products. And as I started introducing him earlier, I'm going to put your hands together as we make welcome Senior Product Designer Mohammed Abdel. We're not clapping him. I need your clap. Good afternoon. Can you hear me now? Yes. How about now? So we are meeting, our stomach is filled. So there's a chance that we find ourselves sleeping, but please don't sleep. I can be boring or just indulge me. My name is Mohammed and I work with people
Cohort team as a product designer. I try not to use senior. We're all together. We're learning. Today we're talking about building scalable products. I understand that. I love my slide. It's very beautiful. Is it beautiful? Thank you. Building scalable products. Either you are here as a product designer or a manager or a developer. You only get to, it's my personal opinion, that you get to succeed only if you think like a builder. So Dixon was saying something earlier about when you leave here, you start looking for a job. Why do you have to look for a job when you can start building yourself? There is AI now that lets you do anything. You can decide to use something as cheap as open code if you don't have money for cloud or even ChatGPT. Right? So you can finish here, pick your laptop, install Node.js, and start using open code to even visualize your idea. And you can launch whenever you want to. But then, today we're talking about how you can go ahead and build something and make it scale, or how people have been doing that to scale it. Things like this. So, this is an exercise, but I like to start with the note. I understand that we all have our note with us and we like to write with our handwriting, but can you do something for me? Can you exchange your notes with somebody, maybe someone beside you, so they will write on your behalf? Hold on, it's a test of empathy. When I was in school, I have a very bad handwriting, up to now. I can't even write anymore, I like typing. But there's a part where whenever I want to write, I ensure that my handwriting is very, very clear and readable. So if you want to copy my notes, you can see what I wrote. Not because it's for me, but I'm ensuring that whatever I'm writing, if I give it to you, you can use it. It's in a way related to products. What you are building, you are the builder, but not the primary user. So how about we see the kind of person that we all are here today? You give your note to somebody, then you write on their behalf, and let's see how much detail you can capture for them, so that when they get home and they are reading through your notes, they can grasp what we are trying to do here today for us. Can you do that?
Yes.
In 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes. Why are we scared? There's a part here, so if you want to build a product, you'll be able to trust yourself. So, are we saying that we have been here for 4 months and we don't even trust each other? So you don't trust these guys for you. Good. So let's start real quick. Now that you have exchanged, what phone? Now that you have exchanged your notes, so it's left for you to ensure that your handwriting is legible and they can read what you write, so that when they get home, they are able to digest it. And the next exercise is going to be thinking of a product that you use daily, right? And I want you to tell me why you keep using them. Why does it stick? For me, it's open. Because then I love the experience and it's fast. So I want 2 people, you can raise your hands. Tell me that product, it could be WhatsApp for anybody. It could be open too. Just tell me why you love the product, right? How long you have been using them and why it stick. Anyone? Thank you. Good now. Why open?
Okay.
Women Bank, interesting. Why Women Bank?
So it gives you the room to save money for as long as you want. And they won't be deducting. It's not like a assessment. When you take your money to your partner, they keep deducting. This one now.
No one is calling this. It's not we saying as
And again, it's fast. Just like there's nothing like the network issues when you're
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we give a round of applause? Thank you very much. You said Opie and Women Bank because they are able to to help you differentiate your shawarma money from the money for Salah. The Salah is coming, or the money for Christmas. Right? So you are able to understand that this money belongs to this one, and it's very fast. Any other person? I don't want to call you because but I still talk to you. Go on.
Okay, I use 4 picks, 1 word.
Use what?
4 picks, 1 word.
4 picks, 1 word. Interesting. That app? Yes. Nice. Why?
I like the fact the daily, like they have this very much daily, the daily challenge.
So you love the challenge. You are an eagle. What's the baby name? Next slide, please. Good. So now I want to talk about what scalable means. We're talking about business scalable. So what does scalable mean? Most people would think, or should I ask you? You are sleeping already. That's fine. I'll help you. What does scalable mean? People would think scalable is building a robust system that can handle a lot of users. Let's assume that, we use Figma, right? Figma has a lot of users. So people would think that building Figma would mean just building something that can handle a lot of people, right? But it goes beyond that. When you are building a product, you are making a promise to people. OPay is made a promise to me indirectly that when I use their product, I can send money as fast as anything. And they have to ensure that for as long as I use that product, however their team grows, however their company scales or move, I'm still able to do that. So scale means that you are building a product that does not break its promise as it grows in terms of performance or usability or business model or even team culture. So you have to ensure that when you build something, either your team grows, you have new people coming into your team. That your value proposition, the reason why you use Wema is still there for you.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about? How are you thinking about building your product? And it's a part where, I talked about that guy in Good. So I said scale is when your product survives contact with people that are not you. Scale is because they are not you. So I build something not for myself, but ensure that when people start to use that product, they keep using it. Right? Next slide. Now it says scalability is not one thing, it's three. There's the so this is me coming from the POV of a PM, of a designer and an engineer. I've tried to build myself, so in a way I understand how hard it can be. Right? So there's the technical skill. Can the system handle load without degrading in terms of speed, uptime, or even data integrity? So you are telling me that, okay, fine, I'm trying to build a product that can handle 10 million users. But once we have these users on our system, can our system handle it? Right? Can they manage those users without our product slowing down? If you use Figma now, you realize that on Figma, so let's assume you create, you have multiple pages on Figma. Then those pages have different files, so screens or multiple frames. The big part when you want to navigate through those frames, so through those pages, it starts to load, it starts to hang. They have a lot of products, a lot of users. Right? They have a product of it, but is that in terms of speed and performance, are they able to optimize it? Does it work? And there's the design skill. Does your experience hold for diverse users, context, and edge cases you didn't plan for? That's a skill. So let me give you an instance. You are trying to build an e-commerce website, for example. Right? Now, you find yourself in a scenario where there's just one unit left. So 1 unit of a stock left. You are selling shoes, but you have just one left. But you have a lot of users. There's a very high chance that you can have multiple users clicking buy at the same time for that one product. How are you able to ensure that click sends the product to the first person, even though they click on it at the same time? So, for a smaller business, you can just go to your database and look for maybe the fastest person and give it to them. But for something like Amazon, where so they call something database sharding. So that is where you have a robust database, but you break them into small bits. So you have server 1, server 2, server 3 to handle different things. So let's assume that user A is under server 1 and user B is under server 2, but they click on buy at the same time, right? So how do you ensure that server A is not giving the product to? You ensure that server A is not delivering the product to the user A, and server 2 is not lagging behind. So they got something, the shock absorber. It's what developers do. Yeah. So it's when you now ensure that you create a queue. So you realize that you want to send money on your bank, and you send 200k now, and you send 200k again. It will tell you duplicate transaction that you should wait. It's a queue. Right. So this is how they optimize for most of the time multiple cases that they didn't plan for. Right. And there's the skill for organization, as I mentioned earlier. As your team grows, as you have more people, are these people working together? Are they speaking the same language? Are you telling me now that because I have multiple people on my team, we can't make faster decisions anymore? We have to wait for one person to think of this to come back to us. Are we together? Are we together? Say together we are. Are we together? Next slide, please. Now, so I'm going to use WhatsApp as an example. In early 2014, before Facebook acquired WhatsApp, or maybe bought WhatsApp, however you want to put it. Right? They are managing over 450 million users with just 55 engineers. They didn't hire more people, and they were selling just one core feature, and that was what? Anyone? Chat, messaging. They were not doing anything else, just messaging, and they ensured that you're able to it got to a point where everybody wants to use WhatsApp. You want to use WhatsApp to send message. Right? That is scalability. They were able to scale globally with just a single feature and a lot of users. That's scalability. A real life scenario of scalability. Are we together? Are we together? Next slide, please. Now, scalability starts before the first sprint. We know what a sprint is. If you want to start a new project, to do sprint planning. You define what each a designer, developer, engineer is going to do. You set your goals for them. You set the timeline for it, right? So you can work agile. Now, you need to ensure that before you start your project, before you build your product, you are able to define who you are not building for. Not who you are building for. You know your customers already, but who am I not building for? You need to be able to identify your ICP. They call it ideal customer profile. Who are my customers? You can build for everybody, right? You can say, okay, this product can serve everybody, but who am I not building for? Who are my ideal customers? If you're able to identify this and know who you are building for, you'll be able to plan out whatever you're trying to build, define your features clearly. And I said, build on assumptions that you have tested. What are assumptions? They are hypotheses that need to be true before your features can succeed. It could be in form of desire. You ask yourself, does our customer want this? So you are assuming that there's a problem out there that if you build, your customers are going to use. It could be about viability. Should we even build it? You are saying that if we build this thing, you are assuming that if you build it to make you money. So you are saying because we build this product, we are reducing churn rate. There could be feasibility. Can we build that product? You are assuming that you have the technical stack or even team on ground to be able to build that product. There is usability. You are saying that after building this product, you are assuming that people are going to know that this button, if I swipe behind, I can delete a chat on WhatsApp. Are we together? Yes. Thank you. So you have to ensure that you are able to test all these assumptions, and there are two before you can build that product, so that you can scale and succeed. Then design for failure, not just for success. This is quite clear. Like I said, what you didn't plan for. Ensure that when that API stops working, what are we going to do? It's when you realize that we are trying to build a product. You see people going for multiple providers, not because one can't serve them, but there are instances where if this one stops working, we can fall back to the other provider and use them, right? And there's a part where you name your non-star metric early, right? For Spotify, they are not start to be active listeners, right? For Facebook, it could be monthly or daily active users, ensuring that this is our goal, this is what we want for our product. People are chatting actively on our platform every day without they are able to get value. Are we together? Next slide, please. Now, this is for designers. Thanks. Who said sorry? Who said sorry, please? The only person that cared about me. Thank you very much. What is it? You don't care. No, you don't. But then, I'll continue still. My mouth is sorry. It's okay. Right. For a designer, most of the time you think your design system is a style guide, something that guides your implementation. Right? You have a set of components that are usable for your products. But it's also a scalability tool. Because without design system, right, every screen is a new decision. When you have multiple frames, you have to start saying this particular frame, you have to start designing buttons individually for each frame. So let's assume that you have a button that is not a component and you have used across over 100 pages and you want to make changes to it. I mean, you can do the command F or do the select, select all with same property. Or you can just go to your components library, make that update, and it reflects across everything. So meaning that without it, there's stress. But with it, your engineers that you work with, they are not guessing which button serves for which purpose. If they was like define which one is for the over states, the focus states, etc. Right? And they are able to ensure that as designers, you are not working on just designs anymore. You are focusing on what matters, on strategy, on usability, on better experience. Are we together? Next slide, please. Now, this is me going into the PM point of view, and here I'm saying the best product managers in the world are known for what they didn't build. So, as a product manager, the company wants you to do a lot of things. You come to them and say, we want this feature, we want that feature. This particular business build this thing, you should build it too. But it's left to you to understand your North Star and what you need to do to get there. What you should focus on and what you shouldn't. So let's assume that you have a lot of features that are trying to build. The ones you have in mind for yourself, the ones you just give it to you to build. But you're able to review all of them, take out the ones that matter for the business, and ignore the ones that they are pushing on you. When you succeed, you'll be able to say, because we didn't build this one, we're able to achieve this. Are we together? Next slide, please. So I'm saying that as a product manager, you have a roadmap. No, not yet. Now you are doing it. Oh my God, spoilers. The roadmap is a scalability tool. So you have your roadmap, right? First one is to say no more than you say yes. I mean, I said that earlier. As a PM, you can't say yes to everything. Or else you just have a jam-packed product. If the PM for WhatsApp, when they had one key feature, making them money, helping them scale, is saying yes to everything, they won't be where they are today. Facebook acquired them because of that particular feature, of that skill. They were acquired even though they were just doing messaging. Do you understand? And I said measure outcomes, not outputs. By outcome, I mean, so you can say for output, for example, you want, so let's assume you are building a tool that lets people maybe watch movies. And you want to add a feature that let them filter and see a lot of noise. Right? You can say we had a filter feature. That's output, activity, work. Or you can say, because you added a filter feature, people are able to scan movie faster, or maybe they are able to scan movie 3 times faster, and there's 40% use of that filter feature. That's outcome. There's a particular metric attached to it. You are able to define it clearly. It's not just we are onboarding customer or we built an onboarding feature. We are saying that we are able to reduce maybe onboarding drop-off by 50% because we built the particular feature or this feature. Are we together? So I'm looking at this slide too much. So I can face it. And I said, make your assumption visible. So I talked about assumptions earlier. Can anyone remind me of what I defined assumptions as? Hypothesis that what that needs to be true for your features to what? To succeed. Good, awesome. How can you say first? So you need to be able to write down what you believe about your users and why. Right? You need to write down what you believe, what you assume they should be able to do for you to succeed. Next slide, please. Next slide. I mean, you've shown them already, so why not just open it up and let them see everything at once? Good. I said, build for the users you have, not the ones you imagine. Right? So, if you decide that today you are going to heed my advice, after this class, you are going to, after this session, you are going to go back to your laptop. Either you are a designer or a PNM or a developer, right? Open your laptop, look for a way to install Node. It will be maybe your S code, or go to Homebrew and install Homebrew through terminal. Then go to Open Code, or if you have money, I mean, I have capacity. Say I have capacity. Yeah, so, thank you. So you can use Codex or Cloud. You install this CLI. You can go to ChatGPT to do that. It's very easy. And start with your prompts. You can start with your PLG or ChatGPT. I want to build a money printing app that prints money for me. Right? You define your functionalities. You get the PLT that you can export as a markdown file. You carry that PLT, you put it into, you can use your VS Code if you want to. Anybody can use it. Right? As far as you have the markdown file, it's easier for Cloud or OpenCode to give your markdown file. Then just do your prompts. They will give you your MVP, the first thing that you want to see. I mean, you get to visualize it, then you can start adding more to it, And when you are supposed to go, you can install kits, or however you want to go about it. Connect to it or create an account on Vessel, a Square-based account. Ask your AI to still do it for you. I did it. It is easier for me to say because I did it. Right, myself, or I'm still doing it. And you can do it too. We have capacity. Say I have capacity. Thank you. So when you are done, or before you even start all this, you can go to, you have the idea already. You can go on Twitter, you can go on Edit, you can go on LinkedIn, and talk to people that you believe are your users, the ones that you are building for. Ask them what they use, what they think about what you're trying to do, then build based on that feedback. So you are not imagining that they want that feature. You know that they are the one you are building to. Are we together? Next last slide. Last one, please. Good. So scale is a byproduct of building something genuinely useful. That is scale. Something that you build that you know that for every time it exists, it's fulfilling a promise to people that are using it. And that promise remains. You are not breaking that promise. Thank you very much.
Questions, please. I know some of you have a lot of questions. You can ask them now.
Ask me what I know. Questions?
Okay.
Is that a... Let me see that.
No, that's one question.
Okay.
So you mentioned something that, you said something that every decision you make in the first 3 months will cost you more to do in the next 12 months time. Yes, and it's your time when you go to it. So like, something like this, now how do you think that one can, like, should I say, make sure you don't, since it will cost you more to do it, how do you think one can manage the fact that, okay, I don't want something like that to happen?
Is it after you make that decision or before you make the decision? Before you make the decision? Before you make the decision.
Yes.
Interesting. So like I said, or like as it was written there before she picked it up, every decision you make will cost you 12 months. In the first month, it will cost you 12 months. Right? So what you can do, like I said earlier, is to understand who you are not building for. I've said that before. Right? There are people that they assume, it's fine, talk about assumption. Assume that people want this product. Assume that when I want to be a fintech, people are going to pay money. I tried to build I think what I talked about earlier, I was like, a 3D design tool, thinking I'm trying to build a replacement for spline. Or not Blender, I'm not a Blender like, right? But what I didn't do was understand who would use it. I had an idea that, okay, maybe Freeman developers, web developers. Now I struggle to get people to use this thing that I built. Right? So you need to ensure that all these things are met. I ensure that I test that assumption. If I'm saying that this product is solving a problem, and that when I build, people are going to use that product to solve their problem, I should be able to talk to people that I believe are going to use that product first. Right? Reach out to them, inform. I mean, a founder has to tell me that before I start building generally, before I even think of building my engine, I should go on, like I said earlier, Reddit, for example, say something about what I'm trying to build. Go on Twitter, see people that are doing the same thing, or people that want to use that, or that have used something similar to it. Last week, I made a post about building an e-signature platform, right? Something like DocuSign, request, and the likes. Someone made a comment and reached out to me about what they were facing with sign request, and hoping that I will solve it for them. Right? It's not like it, but it's just me assume that if I do this, they can use it for this, and I'm asking them questions. And when I answer that question, it becomes more like a form of feedback for me, right? So it's like a form of research yourself. Well, I'm not taking it as suggested, right? So it won't sound complicated. Do you understand? Are you sure? Something I know.
Thank you. Maybe you understood.
Yes,
So get numbers 1, 2, 3. Hold on first.
I think I need to answer.
So take those three questions. Answer everything. For those of you that had questions for Mr. Uyi, you can see with him later on. Yeah. So just take 3 questions. Yeah. So I'm giving you number 1, number 2, Abi. Then who are I getting number 3? Yes, you. So you take 2 boys and 2 girls. So the pass the microphone back to.
My question is, you say no more than you say yes. I think I can understand it like in 2 different ways. So like, when are we supposed to know when to say that no? Because most of the time, this suggestion can be meaningful and can make the product even more better.
So in product development, there's something called backlog, right? So meaning that you have defined what you want to build, you understand the value of having that particular feature, and knowing that adding more to it can cause bottleneck, right? So when someone comes to you and say, we want to add this thing to it, you as the PM, knowing fully that after you've done all your assumption and you've validated everything, you know that this thing can actually fly this face or this face. You're like, I'm not saying no, we are not building this. We are saying, okay, fine, this thing can be in the backlog and we can pick it up after. Does that make sense?
Okay. So you mentioned that we should scale and build for users we have, not for the ones that we imagine. But currently, we are trying to build an application that we have not yet finished building, so we do not have users. So how do we go about that in that situation?
It's metaphor the words use for it. That's it, that is like, it's like a metaphor. Right? The user you have is someone that you know in your mind that will want to use that product. And you get that by validating your assumptions. So meaning that when I said go on Twitter or on LinkedIn, search for Freeman developer because you are building for Freeman use, and you ask them the question. And they say, okay, fine, it makes sense, I will use this thing. You are not imagining that the Freeman developer would use this, but you are validating that this person that I've reached out to that does this particular thing will use my product. Do you understand?
Okay, that's all the question. Bonus.
Are you?
Now, lady, I won't give the bonus. You know, ladies, comedian.
Alright, good afternoon. Yeah, so I have 2 questions. So the first one is that if you're building a platform that you'll be bringing in an API, so how do you like balance your own platform's branding with the API's branding? Like the API will be used on your platform, so you probably still want to like maintain the brand guidelines of your own platform. So how do you do that. And
Are you an engineer? No. Answer this one first. Are you an engineer?
I'm product designer.
Product designer. Okay. I mean, the API that me have worked on is the API that me have worked on is one that I told Claude to work on for me. Okay. So I worked on my design. Claude did this for me. Connect my API. Just told me go to Superbase, create a bucket, create a table, put this in your SQL editor, and that's fine. Right? But when you talk about branding, right? Let's get an instance, or to be clear, you want to just say you want to use Quora for payment to receive payment. So you are telling me that because you want to connect it with Quora, you want to ensure that on your own platform, even though you are collecting payment using Quora, you are maintaining your interface. Is that what you're asking? So there's a part where I believe when you use API, you are able to actually. So the reason why people use APIs is because it gives them that flexibility to do everything on their own particular product. Am I right? Engineer. But okay, that's fine. But so one other thing that we now have is payment link, right? Even with the payment link, you are still able to customize your own. I mean, you can add your logo, add your colors to it, but just that it directs you to a payment link where you now pay with Quora. So the only thing that you are seeing is going to be powered by Quora. But every other thing related to the color, to the theme, to the logo, is your logo.
Okay, sorry, just to answer your question. So for those APIs, for example, now for Quora, now we use like people's APIs. Like those are like our processing partners. And then when somebody comes on our system and sends money, you still see powered by Quora. So what we do is that the backend engineer masks, like you mask it, call it masking. Like you mask the API of the partner. So when somebody is using it and then they call the API, it's showing Quora, not the partner's name. Because again, if it shows the partner's name, why am I not using Quora? I just go straight and this is so we mask it and then you don't see. That's what other payment processors do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you understand?
Yes,
Next question.
Yeah, so the second question I have is that in terms of building features for a product now, so how do you tend to like prioritize the features? In the case whereby they are all equally important, how do you sort of like prioritize? Is there like a maximum feature that you can, maximum number of features you can release at the same time? Or it has to like be, for instance, now can you release like 5 features for a product at the same time and you believe that they're all of equal priority?
So if I want to build a fintech app, for example, I have a particular goal to allow sending and receiving of money. So I want to send money, I want to receive money. Now there's the card part of it where I can let you use card. There's the part where I can say if you want to receive money, you can receive money with QR code or you can stamp. There's the part where I can say after sending money, you can add beneficiary, right? But if you are saying that you want to launch and to be able to like get feedback faster, to understand that what you are building is actually valid and viable, you probably like focus on, I mean, it's why we have a roadmap. You can build as many features as possible as you can think of. Everything. Me personally, like I believe that this tech thing is like witchcraft. I believe that this code that you are pressing, it's incantation. Right? You are typing some. Imagine how many of us are Yoruba here? Awesome. So, do we know what we call Olugo in Yoruba? Now, imagine me being able to pick my phone and call you here, and you can pick it there and listen. It's spiritual, it's not natural. Do you understand? So I believe that anything that can be explained can be built. That's me, right? But you need to ensure that your value proposition is intact. Why I said you are making a promise. So that particular product you are building is making a particular promise. Which of these features is preparing to start fulfilling that promise? If it's sending and receiving of money, prioritize that. You can start doing more after.
Thank you so much for just together for you. Thank you. If you asked me that question, I would have said, I don't think that any more than 5 features have the same priorities. I don't think it's ever possible, but things happen, right? So one more time, put your hands together for him. All right, great. So when you want to reach it, you can reach it. Okay, yeah. There are people that are hiring you before you. All right, the next one. I hope you're ready for the next one. Yes, you can exchange your book back. Only one person has exchange your book back. All right. Thank you. And then from the beginning, you can't read it. Sorry. We are here. What's that? It's legible. Okay, we're going to the next one, and this is going to be taken by. Don't worry, who would hear. So the next topic is personal branding for employability and career growth. And this is going to be taken by no other person but the head of people and culture at Cohort, Adeteju Adele. So,
Alright, hi everyone. Good afternoon. We're very exciting crowd. Alright, so like you said, Adeteju, I head people and culture at Cohort. That's true. I'm not here to make you an influencer or be people that talk a lot on social media. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to ensure that when somebody's making a decision to hire you or somebody's looking for you, they can see something about you that is tangible and that makes sense, and can even help them make a decision of whether they are hiring you or not, or recommending somebody or not. Let's put that disclaimer because I'm not an influencer. So I'll just get right into it. Oh, it's Frank. Okay. That's okay. All right. So first of all, there's so many people that are looking for jobs. I know that we all know that there are a lot of people looking for jobs. A lot of people are open to new opportunities, right? I was telling Mo earlier that last quarter we were looking at how many people applied to jobs at Cohort. We had over 10,000 people that applied across all our roles last quarter. So it means that you're not the only one looking for a job. Everybody else is looking for something, and it has to be something that makes you stand out from every other person that is applying for a job, right? And that's where things like personal branding come in, because that's the first thing they see even before they get to speak to you. So you might be great, you might be the best person for the job, but we need to see that before we speak to you, because we're not going to speak to everybody. So I've been on the hiring side, so I know that I have gone through people's profiles, I look at people's CVs, and I do all of that. And there are people that I just look at their CV and I just don't even bother reaching out. Not because they are not good, not because they don't have the experience, but I just cannot get anything out of it, or their CVs are not even, they don't look presentable, and by default I've already judged you with your CV, because that's the only thing I've seen about you. I'm looking at your CV and your surname is flying around another place somewhere. You have, even typographical errors and a lot of other things. I wouldn't shortlist someone like that, because it's not like me, I pay a lot of attention to details, and I believe that whatever I'm saying about you is probably how you're going to do the work that I'm going to assign to you. So, first of all, we don't even sit on just CVs, right? We just look at your CV, we skim through, and then we can already tell who we are shortlisting or not in like the first 3 minutes. We know if that person is who we want to speak to or not, because like I said, we have a lot of other people that are applying for roles. It's really not just you. And one place that I know that I would always go to when I'm looking at people's profiles is LinkedIn. I would always check your LinkedIn, because first, with LinkedIn, you're able to kind of have an idea of what the person has done. You can see how many years people have spent on the role, you can see how many months. You can just see something at the glance. Or like the CV where I have to calculate in my head what was June 2022 to June 2028 or something. LinkedIn just gives you that thing at the glance. It lets you know what people talk about. It lets you even see the person that you want to work with before you even talk to them. And even Google as well. Before you are confirmed to Quora, chances are that we're going to do a background check on you, and Google is definitely one of those places. You know, to hire someone that gives hot takes on Twitter about why women are useless or things like that. There are people that's what they live for. They go to Twitter, they are giving hot takes and they're dragging and things like that. I wouldn't want to associate with someone like that because that's not what we stand for. I'll be worried that tomorrow when you join, you go and talk about everything that's happening in Quora on Twitter. So it will give me that bit of, can I trust this? You know, so essentially what I'm trying to say here is that your CV alone does not cut it anymore. Not at the days where you take your CV to an office and drop paper and you hope that they're going to call you one day. That's not the case anymore. People Google you, people check your LinkedIn, and people check what they can find or what they cannot find, and that really decides whether you get the full screening, right, or whether you're going to be shortlisted or not. So your personal brand is, like I said here, is the search result of you. Is what I see when you check for Adeteju Adele on Google or LinkedIn or even on Twitter, right? What do you see about me there? And honestly, that's the first place I go to. So if you reach out to me and tell me, oh, hi, Adeteju, I've been looking for how to enter Quora for 1 year. I've applied at this. I'll first check LinkedIn. I'll just say, okay, should I push this person or not? And then I look at it and I'm like, okay, not bad. Let's give this person a chance to speak. So that's literally what why this matters. Next slide, boss. Alright, so I think it's also very important to clear things up. What personal branding is not and what it is. So first of all, it's not you going viral on LinkedIn. It's not, you don't have to do that to have a personal brand. Nobody's going to, I'm not going to judge you if you have a lot of interesting posts or if you don't have interesting posts. It's also not posting hot. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. So, like I said, it's not going viral on LinkedIn that this person trended yesterday, or this person gives hot takes on LinkedIn for engagement, or you're a thought leader, you know, or you're loud, or you're perfect, or you have a very nice logo on your header and the tagline. That's not what personal branding is about. This is what it is. So it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's sorry, what's your name? Chidima. Okay, so it's who is Chidima? Are you front end, back end, or designer? Back end. Okay, see preference, back end. So it's what people say about you when you're not there. It's do you know this Chidima babe that went to the Cohort that does back end? It's what people are saying about her. It's what she has made people know about her. That's what it is. It's what do you do and who do you help? By hearing Mo speak, you can already have an idea of who he is and what he stands for. If you go to his LinkedIn, you know what he does. You know how, you've looked at his slide, you're like, oh, this design is clean, you know, things like that. You have an idea of who he is based on how you do and who do you help. It's also the trail of work and thinking that you live online. It's the kind of thinking I mean, somebody posted something on LinkedIn, your kind of comments. I'm looking at your comment and I'm like, okay. I mean, there was somebody I was dragging recently. I'm like, why did you put that kind of comment? And I just gave him an idea. Like, no, you don't need to do that. But there's one time when somebody posted something on LinkedIn, and I don't know the person personally. I know that like you're not starting out your career, and I don't think that you should write this kind of thing. It looks like you're taking another company down, and I don't think you should do that. So it's just really, people can judge you by those things. It's like, okay, this is somebody I can trust to do something. So it's also consistency between what you claim and what you ship. You're all engineers in the room, so it's, I can do this thing. What have you done? You know, there are two different things. So it's really being consistent with what you say you can do and what you've done. So like every year, you already have a personal brand. The question is whether you're shipping it or you're not. Alright, so I wrote just 3 pillars here, not to overcomplicate it. It's positioning, proof, and presence. Positioning is who you are, what you do, and who do you do it for. Proof is, show workings, the work that's backing up what you said you are. And then presence is where can people find it. So these are like literally the 3 things. So I'll go to positioning now. and I'm going to ask about 3 people a question here. If you met a stranger and then they ask you, what do you do? I want you to answer it how you would answer that stranger. There's no perfect answer, no pressure. You can volunteer. If I don't see anybody, I'm just going to call 3 faces that I like. So if you don't volunteer, I'm just going to call you. Alright, I'll start with Chidima. I feel like you already knew that. The question is, what do you do? That's what I'm asking you.
First of all, what are you doing? I'm a student of the Cohort. I'm actually training. So I'm a trainee at Cohort.
She said she's a trainee at the Cohort. Does anybody know what trainee she is? If you didn't know, do you know her? No. Is she back end, front end, or design? Not because I've said it. You don't know. So he doesn't know that. You just say you're a trainee at the Cohort. We don't know what you're training on. We probably don't even know what the curve is. Remember I said the stranger is asking. So I'm giving somebody expo. So what do you do? I need you to answer that.
My name is Oyima. I'm a front-end trainee at the Cohort. Cohort is like an organization that trains.
What do you do? That's the question. So the difference is that now he has said he's a front-end trainee at the Cohort. He was going to tell us about the Cohort. But then I stopped him. He doesn't know about the Cohort. But the difference is that at least I know that he's a front-end trainee. That's the difference. I'm coming to you, not because you've been making amazing.
So what do I do? That's right. So I design products for clients. Use them
So he said he's a product designer and he designs products for clients. That's what he said. I don't know his name. I just know that he's a product designer. Somebody volunteered, so I'm just going to ask him.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Rafael Ivy. I'm a product designer. I help brands position themselves properly into designs.
Awesome. So I feel like it got better with time, and that's because we've all heard from each other. So there was no wrong answer. I mean, it's just she assessed the training at the call. Somebody said the front-end training. Somebody said I help businesses design products, and then somebody ended in how he helps them. I mean, they're both designers, but there was a difference in their response. So this is the trick right here. It's basically, let me go back to where. All right, I help who do what using how. That's literally the best way to do it. And it might sound weird when you say it. The trick is for you to constantly say it. And when you're confident in yourself and what you're saying, it'll stop people. I'm not saying the confidence is rubbish, but if you've landed it and you think it works, the trick is to constantly say it. Hey, this is what I do, and this is who I help, and this is why I do it. Right? So there's some examples here. I help small e-commerce teams ship faster using React and clean APIs. That's very clear. If you know an e-commerce company that is looking for somebody that is doing React, you know who to recommend. It's really that simple. I help fintech founders make use of their data using Python and SQL. Clear. Right? So I'm expecting the front-end person to tell me, I do front-end and this is the framework I use. So I know that, okay, if we're looking for a front-end intern or a front-end person, I know that, oh, somebody told me that they do this. And I'm thinking about that person, right? It's really, that's position and that's what it is. You're leaving them with a conversation that next time they can remember you and they remember what you said you do. As I put that, they are not good with faces, they're not good with names, but they remember like examples and scenarios and things like that. There are people like that. So you want to leave everybody with a lasting impression of, hey, this is what this person does, and this is why they do it, and this is how they can help me. Please, next slide, Mr. Frank. All right, so proof. Like I said before, It's literally show workings, show your work. The internet rewards receipts. So the first one is shipping things. So somebody had asked earlier that they're working on a product, they don't know who their users are yet, they don't have users and things like that. So these are like just side projects, open source, contributions, GitHub repos that work. Once again, it's not just for you to load it with things that are not working or things that, they just say, they're just vibes. At the end of the day, people want to see that you can do the work, even if it's small things. We want to be able to see what you've built. Yes, you're an intern. How are you different from another intern? Right? What have you actually done in your free time at the calls? When you're not doing, when you're not going for classes, what are you working on? How are you showing that you can contribute to the company that is about to hire you or not? Write things. This is also something that I think a lot of people do not like to write. I've seen a lot of people do not like to write, and I understand, but I think that receipts are something that they help you. They really help you. It can be something as simple as, my experience building XYZ. You are the one that, if you are the one that worked on it, if you don't just leave it to AI to do for you, you should be able to write about what you worked on, the challenges you faced, how you solved it. That's simple. Nobody might learn from it, but you are documenting what you worked on. It's that simple. So a short post explaining how you solved something, a breakdown of a library you love, anything. Just tell people, build your writing skills, let people critique it for you. If you have AI, you can literally write something unfiltered, take it to Claude, take it to ChatGPT, take it to Gemini, tell it to write this for me I'm the best person alive, or I'm the best designer in the world. But remember to calm down, Trisha, because when people are reading things that you wrote, we're expecting to speak to you and we're getting the same thing. Let it be aligned. Don't write all the way and I'm speaking to you and I'm like, I don't want to wrote this thing, So just try to make things, write realistic things, document your own experiences. And I know that even in the workplace, I think it's something that people get to do as well. You document, you cannot just write the code and just leave it there. People expect you to document as much as possible so that if anybody else picks it up, you understand what you worked on. Then teach things. While yes, you're learning, there are also people that have not even started to learn, but there are people that have not even gotten to the stage you've gotten to. So there's nothing that stops you from actually answering questions online. Someone's talking about something and I tried this at one point and this was what worked for me. Teaching people how to do things, helping people that are coming up as well. It also helps you grow. It helps you, people even know that this person is developing themselves, this person has worked on this is how this person can help me. And then finally, show your process. I talked about when I was talking about writing things, build in public, share what you're learning, and not just, it doesn't have to be overly polished, right? You can even write about something that you learned from a mistake, or a mistake you made when you were working on something. Be vulnerable, share with your people to read for you. Like I said, ask AI if it makes sense to post this. If it doesn't, if it tells you it doesn't make sense, drop it and think about another thing, right? But I think the goal here is just, at the end of the day, we want to see that you've shipped stuff. People want to see proof. I've seen some people's CVs or some people's LinkedIn. They put all the certifications on Udemy, all the certifications on EDX, all the certifications on Coursera. To be honest, it doesn't really change anything for me. I'm more big on what you've done and what you can do, right? So if somebody tells me they worked on this project versus somebody that went to all the 10 universities on Coursera, because some people would actually even write University of Pennsylvania, it's Coursera, don't worry. There are people like that. There's some people that they just like all those kind of things, right? I would obviously prioritize somebody that's done the work versus somebody who hasn't and has just learned. I'm not saying don't train yourself or whatever, but I'm just saying that having real projects actually go faster than courses on your CV, because chances are that we might not even scroll to that point on your CV, to be very honest. Next slide, please. Yeah, so presence, I think I was talking about this a lot. If you recruiter Google's your name, what shows up? So that's actually a challenge to you. Google yourself, see what comes up. See if there was one time that you dragged somebody on Twitter and they ended up on Gisnova or what's this other one? Mr. Blog, thank you. Right, because there was someone I wanted to hire one time, very funny story. And then I was doing like background check and I saw her Google and I'm like, what's happening here? And I reached out, I'm like, wait, did you ever have drama online? And then she explained the whole thing. I'm like, go and look for how to take it on social media, because it was very weird. But thankfully, I had known her for a while, so I was able to kind of like just free that. Right? But for somebody that we probably not even hired, to say that kind of story would have been very interesting. So just check yourself on Google, see what comes up, see how to clear it. Clear it with nicer stuff and better things that will be on top of it. LinkedIn is a non-negotiable. That's literally where we live, and that's the biggest way. I'm not saying go there and start lying or whatever, but at least polish it, let it look presentable, and let people be able to see what you stand for. Use a nice picture. Don't use Snapchat filters, because I've seen that people have the flower on their head, and it's very unprofessional. Like I don't think I would respect somebody like that if I saw it. You have white background in the office before you go to the doesn't need to snap you, and use that instead, not Snapchat filters. GitHub, I don't need to overflow that. That's really where you all live on. So quality is greater than quantity here. It's not by just having like a lot of things, having quality things that stand out. Twitter is very optional, but it's also a very powerful tool. I've seen people talk about conversations on Twitter and even get hired from there. Check what's going on. You don't need to jump on everything. That's why I said learn first, then you can now decide to engage if necessary. Then a simple website is not mandatory. Some people have like websites, especially for designers. I think this is especially helpful for designers, where you have like your own portfolio, who you are, what you've built, and how people can reach you, because that's what people will always ask for. So try to just speak about 2 of them, be consistent with it, clean it up, and you don't have to be everywhere all at once. Even if it's just LinkedIn, you pick and GitHub, you're good. Alright, so I'll zoom into LinkedIn because that's like where everybody goes first when you apply. The first one is your headline. Headline is what you see when you get the page just beneath the picture. I see a lot of people's profiles and I see aspiring developer. Aspiring, like, it's just generally stressful because I'm not sure what aspiring developer is. What do you do? What's developer? Are you front end? Are you back end? What stacks do you use? People want to know that because companies use different stacks. Some people use React, some people do not. But it doesn't mean that you're not a front end engineer. So basically, write what you do and the stacks that you do, and you can now write it there. Open to junior roles, open to internships, things like that, but not aspiring developer. Aspiring developer doesn't say anything, it's very vague. Then your first 2 lines matter most, is what people see about you before they click on see more. So your about page is after the headline, is an about section, and that's really you telling yourself and telling people what you do. And the first 2, not everybody has the patience to click on see more. So the first 2 lines that we actually see are the things that we see first. So you want to make sure that you're leading with what you built and who you help and how you can be useful to whoever lands on your page. And then featured are like things that you've done, like your project, things that you've written, events that you've attended, maybe you were somewhere giving a speech or whatever, anything that proves that you can do the work basically. So you're basically just pinning something on top of your profile. It's just like Instagram for the girlies. When you have like very nice pictures, you pin them at the top of your profile just so that when somebody comes to your page, that's the first thing you're seeing. Very similar to that, that's what featured is. And activity, comment thoughtfully on at least 3 posts per week. You don't have to be everywhere, like I said earlier, like you don't have to post. But if people come to your page, they can see your comments, they can see your posts and stuff like that. So you can just comment on stuff and please try to make sense. You don't have to just comment and just comment rubbish, right? Comment thoughtfully. If you're not sure what you want to comment, like I said, use AI, or very team AI on this side. Use AI, tell it to make this comment make sense, and it's just really, really visible. And of course, target the people that you are interested in, more like people companies that you probably want to work for, or people that you want to mentor you, or people that do what you do. Just find your own niche and just stick to that. I've talked about photo already, please. Just a very nice picture would go a long way. We don't want to see funny looking pictures. Then mistakes to avoid. I said waiting until you're ready. The truth is that you probably won't feel ready. There's just that imposter syndrome that comes with when you want to put yourself out there, right? You won't be ready, just start. You would improve as time goes on, you will improve in public. Also copying somebody else's voice. If it sounds like it's just the perfect person or it is like something else, it might not be comfortable for you. You also need to get comfortable with what you're writing and what you're saying. So ensure that you sound like yourself and you're not sound like a foreign person, right? Because like I said, you want to get comfortable in constantly putting yourself out there, and you don't want people to speak to you. And because the truth is that when I look at your lips and I'm seeing that you look polished, you look good, you speak well, I'm expecting to speak to that same person, not someone whose lips is amazing and then you come to the interview and you're blabbing. You know, there's a disconnect there. So just try to show that at the end of the day you're sounding like you and you're not losing the essence of who you really are. I said all polish, no proof. A pretty profile with no work maybe really gets you nowhere. So ensure that your profile also has like proof and value. Trying every platform at once. Like I said, 2 platforms done well is definitely better than 5 that you do not do well at all. Stick to the one that you're comfortable with and go from there. And also, it's not a one-time thing; it's something that is continuous. So if it's a habit, it's not something that you just do once and drop it. So just see it as going to the gym. You don't just go to the gym one day and you have your ideal body. You have to go often, you have to build reps, you have to continue to do stuff before you get the results you want. So just approach it that way as well. Alright, so I said your 7-day starter plan. It might not work for you, it might work for you, you might tweak it, however way. What I just said is the first one, write your one-liner. Who remembers one-liner? That's what we're talking about, positioning. So use the formula, say it out loud till it doesn't feel weird. Like I said, it's weird when somebody asks me and say, oh, I am this and that. It's kind of like your elevator pitch. So you want to ensure that it's something that sticks and it's who you are and that's what you stand for. Write your LinkedIn headline. If you have aspiring developer or you have training at the curve, please fix it. You want to know what you do and what you've learned from the curve. Are you a front-end engineer? Are you focused on this niche? Write it there, put it there. Make it specific, no aspiring and no buzzwords. Pin 2 things on your GitHub, something you're proud of, let people see it, what you've worked on, put it there. Comment on 3 posts. You can even come and comment on my own posts. Write anything you want to write, that's if I have any posts. But just look for like senior people in your niche, add value. You don't have to agree with everything. Just make sense, let it match what the person wrote. Don't go off before they delete your comment. And write 200 words, something that you learned this week. Post it on LinkedIn. A good one for you is even from this event. You want to write everything that you learned and did not learn from this event. So just write it. Oh, hearing from Hui was amazing. I learned how products work, how this one is that one. I learned from Mo. Mo spoke about how to say no, and this helped me. Just write something. It's kind of like a challenge to you, and it's even you had an event today. Write everything first. Write it how it is unfiltered, and then from there take it to your AI platforms. Let it tweak it for you. Make it remove all your typographical errors, grammatical errors, everything, and then just post it, and then you see. I know very well that if I see it, I'll post. I did for you. I'm your biggest fan. Then audit your Google results. I spoke about it earlier. Search for yourself, see what comes up, fix things that make you look off, because people Google you, people check your LinkedIn and see what that looks like, and then plan your next post on the last day. Pick the next post, next project, the next person you would reach out to. Consistency beats intensity every single time. So it's about being consistent. I don't know if this is most of them about when you're trying to make it work. About this time, okay. So consistency is actually very important. Like I mentioned earlier, it's like going to the gym, getting your ideal body. You don't go once and you look like someone that is snatched everywhere. You have to constantly go and you have to constantly go and show up. That's the only way you can make it work. I think this is my slide. Okay, yeah. So you don't need to be loud, you need to be findable, and you need to be consistent. That's everything. Questions? No questions. You come and stand beside. Yomi is talent acquisition and Cora. He probably introduced himself earlier. Yomi is one of those people that will just check your CV and say, next. Well,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
So I need to.
Please tell me your name and what you do. Emeka.
Emeka Nobo. Yes, and I'm back in Nigeria.
Back in Nigeria.
Back in Nigeria. Yes. So I need to understand something. At first time you said that you vet what you post on social media, especially hot takes. So can you explain, because
I have hot takes.
I don't necessarily have hot takes, but I have engagement on that hot takes. So what do you think by you is the limit to these hot takes? Like what would somebody say, perhaps about themselves or perhaps about a scenario or situation they are in, for you to say, nah.
Okay, you sound like you have a lot of hot takes too, but I don't judge, so it's okay. No, I'm very active on Twitter as well. So, to answer your question specifically, there's some people that they live like kind of life on like social media that nobody even knows where they work. I'm one of those people. You cannot find me on Twitter, that's the truth, or X or whatever. You won't find me. I'm there. I have plenty of tweets, but nobody knows that I work in Cora. I don't have anything that has Cora. I don't talk about Cora. Nobody knows that I'm even head of people and culture at Cora, except my friends that have me there. So if you're going to stand for a company you work at on your social media, you have to reflect them by default. That's the truth. So you cannot be on Twitter and you have head of people and culture, Cora, and then I'm there and I'm tweeting, I'm talking about how the people at my job are shit. Do you understand? It doesn't entirely. So my point is, if you're going to be on social media and tied to the work that you do, you want to maintain that level of decorum as much as possible. I'm not saying, of course, there's life. I talk about a lot of things on my TikTok. I think I have Cynthia on TikTok. I have like a life there. I have a life outside my job. But as much as possible, I don't tie to the work that I do. My Instagram has nothing related to the work I do. My Twitter has nothing like that. My TikTok has nothing. And the only place you're going to see what I do is LinkedIn. Or if you know me and you have me on those platforms. So, I mean, I always laugh at Yomi. Yomi's post stories on Instagram, they kill me. But it reports to me, but it doesn't say anything that is out of this world or that is unacceptable. Do you understand? Yomi would not go to his story and start saying that women should not be hired, or something that just has to do with what he does. Like he won't have this kind of things where you were there and you're saying that if 1 million people applied for a job and you're trying to improve diversity in your company, favor the woman, even though so many guys did very well, that would be very weird coming from him because he's responsible for hiring the company. So you don't want to be far off from what you stand for. I'm not saying I'm going to judge you by what you post. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you have a presence that relates to the work that you do, or kind of work that you do, or where you work, then there will be a problem. Do you understand? Does it make sense to you? You have a follow-up question?
So, in the case where I don't work at a particular place, okay, give me an example. For me, as an example,
That's a very good example, by the way.
For me, as an example, I don't have any professional working experience yet, and you say that you don't post things that are work related. But earlier you said something about there's many people who post things that you will not want to bring them into your workspace because they may say too much. So what do you mean by saying too much? Would there be anything that I would say that would be like, okay, if this person can say this kind of thing, they might be in this place and then say what they're not supposed to say?
So I was referring to people that are, how do I explain it? People that are very, how do I explain this? Like, I don't want to use the example. I'm being very, very careful because you guys are recording me and I have a role as a head of people at Cohort. So I'm trying to be careful. But my point is, there are people that, as we are doing general meetings and we're telling people these are the new things in the company, some people are running to social media to type it. those are the kind of people I'm referring to. It's two different things. So people that everything that is happening in your company is on social media. You tell the world. So when we join meetings and we tell people that please, this is us. Don't record our conversations. So I've seen people actually talk about some companies that I know a lot about that I don't even have to know about. And that's just from being on some social media platform. Like, why do I know this much about your company? Why do I know that you guys laid somebody off last week? That's not important information. Do you understand? So I'm talking about people that have a lot to say about where they're working, something like that. So those kind of people, of course, I would worry. If you're a hiring manager or you're a CEO of a company and you have like 5 employees that are working, and you're constantly saying everything about like what happened today, day in the life of a front-end engineer in Cohort. That's what you guys do. A day in the life of a Cohort engineer in Cohort. Today I got to the office, I met this person did this. Do you know this person even told me this? Can you imagine the audacity? That's too much. Like, you can talk about big things, you can talk about how your place has very nice greenery, how you have lighting, how you have places to snap pictures, but not details or like confidential things or things that people don't have to know. That's what I was referring to, just to be very clear. And also, it really depends on your level in the organization. Sometimes for some junior people, it might not matter, right? But you might get to a point in your career where you just know that, okay, I head this team or I'm this person and I should be careful of what I say. We all know what happened with Ezra. Do I need to say, like, there's some like, people who went back to his, like, and they're like, I'm sorry? Yeah, people went all the way back and they're like, how can a CEO be saying this, or rather a co-founder? And somebody else has things like that. Nobody's judging them, So it just comes with like how you're growing your career as well and what you want to stand for, basically. You're welcome.
Yeah, any more questions?
They're fine. They don't have any questions.
So they have.
They don't. You want to force questions out of them. They're good.
Let me ask. So this today the second time I'm hearing. Because one time I posted a video of myself on my WhatsApp, and I have a couple of HR managers on my WhatsApp, and one of them reached out and said, "You should go into project management," and I was like, I'm not really, but I have a certificate of project management. That's not certificate. Certificate is not the matter. I'm like, what do you mean certificate is not the problem? I actually did this thing. I went forward to do the exams and I passed. And so why do you think that certificates on Coursera or on Udemy, some of them are quite, especially those ones that have capsule projects, you actually do work. Why do you think that it's not totally something you look out for? Yeah, question.
So, yeah, would you dwell on certifications when you're hiring? That's what we're looking at. So I'll just explain how I see it, and then maybe you will want to add to what I'm saying. But my point is, if I'm looking for a senior project manager, chances are that you have a PMP, and that's what you probably just need. The other part where you wrote all the learning how to be project manager, transitioning from this to this. To be fair, it doesn't really, in my opinion, it does not really count, right? People want to see what you're able to do. Because people do a lot of training, so people don't even finish it. You add it to their profile. There are so many people like that, so people don't even have any depth. It's just there, you just add it, this one, that one, this one, that. Like, there's so many like that, right? So my point is, we would prioritize based on what we're looking for. If we're looking for maybe an intern, right, we might look at classification like, oh, okay, this person is interested in this thing, this person has learned this thing, we might. But if you're looking for, say, a senior person now, and you don't exactly need a particular certification, maybe you're looking for a compliance person, and you want somebody that has DCP, all those CAMs, those kind of things are important to have. I won't really dwell on like the other things that you've done from EDX and all of that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do training. Do training. If it helps you, do it. My point is, whatever you're putting in your CV, right, when we're speaking to you, it has to tally. It has to be consistent. You cannot just have all these certifications in the world and there is no depth. That's my point. But maybe Yomi can share why you will add. what would you think?
Okay, I feel like I just said everything, but when you think of it as when you are like, so just building on our example of the project manager, right? Okay, project manager, looking for a senior project manager who has about, let's say, 4 or 5 years experience, right? We would first of all look at the years of experience, look at the company, look at the projects that the person has done. Then you would now begin to say, you know what, maybe we should just look at some of these certificates. That's why if you see job descriptions a lot, you will see, the first thing you see is 3 years of experience, so. Then you will most likely see DCP or HRBP or something is an added advantage, right? That's usually the norm. But most times, they'll first of all go in terms of priority. First of all, prioritize what's important to the company, then every other thing will just be added. But yeah, that's it.
Sorry, Dash, let me just say something that came to my head. Sorry, please forget your question. The one CV you have might not work for all the jobs you're applying for. Alright, so like you said, when you're looking at the JD, job description, you can see what's important to that company and you can tweak your CV accordingly. If they are writing to you that they want training in several things, then I mean, I don't think anybody will write like that JD, but maybe then it makes sense. But if they're telling you what is priority, you want to focus on tailoring it to that, so that you know just what it's about. You had a question for you, right?
Good afternoon. So do you going to the front end?
What's your first name?
Somto.
Somto.
I really want to ask something. It's really like personal because I've only actually reached out to most people too, so I got no response about it. Like, how you talked about CVs, right? I would like you to throw more light on like how do you see a CV that you know that if I see that I saw this thing now, okay, this person is going to be shortlisted. How can I see it? We are new to this. I can also incorporate a CV because they say 2 years of experience, what you these skills and that skill, but in terms of level of like what you're looking for in that CV. So how do I like put out my CV to better?
I mean, that's a very good question. Sorry, since you're also as you're still going to do LinkedIn and CV this day for them. Would that happen? Not today, like that's going to happen at some point. Oh, I think you're using that in one time. I think it will be helpful. Thanks, Cynthia, to tell you to teach you how to do LinkedIn and CV. Well, I'll answer your question. So, at this me thinking of like the last best CV I've seen. What were those things that were in the CV? So that I can answer your question. Okay, I think for someone like me particularly, because I'm very big on attention to details, the kind of CVs that would appeal to me, first one would be something that is very clean, right? Something that is very clean. You don't need too much. You don't need to put plenty of designs. To be honest, my CV doesn't have any design. It's just a normal Word document that has things that are legible in black and white. And okay, I've not applied for a job in a while, but that's what I used before I got a job, and I don't think anybody was worried about my design. Maybe if you're in product design, it might help. People want to see like what you have done or things like that. But for like, if you're applying, I think first of all, just keep it as simple as possible. You don't need a CV that is like 4 pages, 5 pages long, because the truth is that we will not get to that 5th page, we won't get to the 4th page, we won't get to the 3rd page. The most important page for us is actually the 1st page. The 1st page should have, of course, your name. You should have what you do. You should have what you've done. If you've not worked anywhere, you want to probably put like projects you've worked on and how you contributed to that project, very high level, and how like you want it to be measured, like maybe not measurable, but measurable in that it has impact. So I'm able to see that Somto has done this, and I can have some level of confidence and trust that Somto can do what I'm looking for. Like I said, it's important for you to look at the job description as well. If you're looking at what they're looking for, it gives you an idea of how to tailor your CV to what they're looking for. So, like I said, keep it simple. You know, at this stage, I don't even think even at any stage, I don't think you need a CV that's more than 2 pages. But for your own case, I would say 8 pages is fine. You want to put things you've done. If you've not worked anywhere, try to put projects, you know, put things that you've worked on. People want to see that you've worked in teams. because that's the makeup of a company. You know, people working in teams. Once that you work in teams and you deliver impact, you know, you don't need to put your house address. If I join an interview and I put house address, I tell them to take it off because it's too much information. Your CV is going to end up anywhere. Anybody can. Nigeria is not safe. People can show up by your doorstep and go just based on your CV. So you don't need your address. And so they're telling you that they want somebody in Lagos. You can put Lagos, Nigeria, right? But you don't need to write #1, Freedom Way. You don't need that. Your name, because how to reach you, because that's very important. We've seen CVs before where people did not have their phone numbers. Like, and we're like, okay, so how are we supposed to call you? We should email you and beg you for your number, you know. So your email, your phone number, what you do, what you've done, impacts that you can bring in. At this stage, you can have training that you've done, you know, but more importantly, I would say projects that you've done, because it shows that you have real work experience as opposed to theoretical knowledge. Maybe do you want to add anything to what I've said? Are you sure? Nikki, the reason I'm asking my team is because they handle like, they know, so are you sure you can know? Just add. You know, me is responsible for recruitment. I barely do recruitment in the company, so.
As my guy said. Yeah, so for at this stage, you only need one page. You shouldn't have 2 pages. I mean, we don't want to see, and you need to have relevant information in that particular page. We don't want to see that you were a salesperson somewhere else. We don't want to see any other information apart from what is relevant to that particular job description. Now, another thing is the LinkedIn. All recruiters use LinkedIn as a form of verification for your CV. So whatever you have on your CV, please let it reflect on your LinkedIn page as well. So by the time the recruiter is looking at this, is also looking at your LinkedIn, it's like, okay, this person is the real deal. I've come across a lot of CVs where the person has said so much. When I went to the person's LinkedIn, I saw the person was probably a kitchen supervisor. And I couldn't understand it, and everything matched in the CV. Like so I knew that it was actually the right thing. So all those little things matter a lot. You have to always constantly put all those things. Your certifications, of course, will be very important, but the projects that you worked on will actually push you a lot further down the line, because at this stage, they want to see what you worked on or what you're even working on at the moment. You can do, okay, I think that's for LinkedIn, but for CVs, just keep it very simple. 1 page, contact details, like Tejo has mentioned, and I think I'm pretty sure you will find it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, question?
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is a personal experience, and I want to know what I could have done better. I remember some time ago I shared something on LinkedIn, and the kind of comments I got there, they were not professional. It was from the student actually. Something like, So I was like, I don't do anything. So what should I have done better? Should I does it matter, or is that something I should take? And the second one is, I've seen these things that people celebrate birthdays on LinkedIn. Does it matter as well?
So to answer your first question, I would have deleted all those comments because I don't want to be associated with those kind of things. That's personally, because it was go. So I don't think it's on you. I don't think you could have done anything differently. I would have deleted your comments. You are the author. You can delete it. Do you understand? By the time, no, it's not you don't rate. I don't rate you enough for that post. That's what it means. I don't want to associate myself with that. Like, are you the one that wrote the go? But honestly, yeah, like at the end of the day, like you can post the best thing and then you just see charlatans under your post. And me, I don't hesitate to delete. So this is now it's like Instagram now. If you post your picture, somebody's writing, your babe don't see this one. Like I will delete it fast. So all those kind of things, like you maintain the same energy across board, delete it. Maybe I don't know, if they keep doing it, maybe you want them to stop it. Or maybe if you delete it like 2 times, you'll get a message. Some don't, but hey. For the birthday one, that's people writing today is my birthday. I thank God for the last 365 days. Happy birthday, LLP. I wouldn't do that because the way I see LinkedIn as the extension of my CV and the work I do. I'm not saying people will not wish me happy birthday like on a personal level, but LinkedIn already tells everybody that it's your connection, that it's your birthday, and they disturb you in your DMs, except you remove it. But now posting that it's my birthday, and I wouldn't because why? I have Instagram for that, I have Twitter for that, I have WhatsApp for that. So I just see it as like something that I think is very professional, and I keep it that way. Well, Yomi, did you celebrate your last birthday on LinkedIn? Yomi said hell no, so it's not just me. Nike, never. So basically, I mean, the goal is just making an extension of what you want people to say about you. If your birthday, I mean, I don't see any case why it should be there, even if you're a social media person. So, nah. I don't know if I've answered your question, but yeah, just keep it professional.
All right, I think one more question. What's the problem?
You remember that question?
Yes.
Final question, please.
Thanks. My question is about.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Joy.
Sorry, Joy Lee.
Joy.
Joy Lee.
Joy.
Just Joy.
Joy.
I hear Joy Lee. Your name is Joy.
My question is about pictures that you sent on your LinkedIn. People like me, like say, stay neutral. People like me have all this face. Normally Snapchat. And there's some filters on Snapchat that to not show that.
You use Snapchat?
Use Snapchat. So, should I use that or I should stay neutral?
My suggestion, you know they edit pictures, I think. You don't need Snapchat. I know it's Snapchat filter when I see it personally because I use Snapchat a lot. So I know Snapchat, whether it's natural filter or natural whatever. I think that I don't think gear shots are very expensive, to be honest. You get a good photograph and they snap you. You're blocking the person that asks me this question now. I want to break my neck to answer Joy. So, so my point is, I don't know how much it costs big headshots, but I don't think they're very expensive. If you explore that option and you really don't, like, you can't afford it, I think that you can just take a very nice picture. You can take a very nice picture. You can just maybe. I have one AI photo.
That's what I want to say.
I can send it to you. Check it. It's called Peachy. What is it?
I said that's what I want to say.
Yeah, there are a lot of them now. It's called Peachy. It just help you remove your blemishes and everything. I tried to use it and it's really nice. Peachy, peach, the fruit. Peachy. It's not bad. You can try it because Snapchat just has this mysterious feel to it that I can't explain. It's just already drop your it's not nice. It's better for somebody to just snap you, like selfie pictures, like snapping yourself. It's like I use a tripod that we can't see it, but you put it as snap.
Okay.
I have a meeting in 2 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Question first.
Without.
Is it a fast question?
We have fast question. Answer from there.
So, the person passes all the stages from the CV to like shortlist and they're in front of you. By what metrics do you judge their physical appearance?
Sorry, the person passes all the stages.
Yes,
okay.
In front of you for like the personal physical interview. By what metrics they pass for like their physical
interview? Okay, first of all, we don't necessarily do physical interviews anymore. Except for sales roles. And reason for sales roles because you're going to represent the company. right? But for other roles of people that are like probably like in the background who don't necessarily do that. But if I were to judge people like physically, I think it's just like how they put themselves together. I don't judge based on tattoos or piercings or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. But you're coming to an interview, you're wearing slippers, right? With jeans and that would. Are you wearing slippers? But you're wearing slippers, I already automatically see you as someone that is unserious, right? Or nonchalant about like who is this person? You're nonchalant, how you going to. That's the way I would see it. So if you're wearing slippers here, no offense. But that's how I see it. Like when I say slippers, I mean you're wearing slippers with casual wear. Like imagine what I'm wearing slippers. You understand? I'm not saying you cannot wear slippers with native attire. You can. But don't worry, let me not talk so much. But basically slippers, Crocs. Do you understand Crocs? Is he wearing Crocs? Because the way he's looking every time we say something, I'm like, come, let me see you say no, sweet looking, Hank. So yeah, and also because Cohort is kind of like we don't really we're not very big on like judging how they look. I assume that if it's a bank, certain things might not work, so you want to also have an idea of what to expect. So you can also ask the recruiter even that, please, what's your dress code or whatever, just to have an idea of what to expect, right? Because first impressions matter a lot, and people hold on to that. So you want to even ask them for like an idea, how would you advise me to dress, things like that. It's not a stupid question, don't worry. We might laugh, but we'll answer you, So just ensuring that, you look put together. Some people care about like people that don't iron their clothes. So I wouldn't judge anybody that does not iron their clothes. But if it's very bad and your clothes is rough, pulled, you have your buttons worn the wrong way, you're talking half in one place, down in one place, I would just automatically judge such a person, to be honest.
Yeah, I selected those.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, quickly, we have come almost to the end of this. Yes, now, people they ask questions, I'll ask questions now. Yeah. Please go back a bit. Go back. Yeah, stop. Forward. Now, hello. Please, when you see I help small e-commerce teams ship faster using React and clean APIs, what does it tell you about this person? Who is this person? Front-end is not correct. Full stack engineer is correct. Put your hands in the air for yourself. How about this? I help fintech founders make sense of their data. Data analyst, put your hands together for yourself. All right. Hello, what's happening there? Okay, now, 2 more questions. Hello, stop talking, no. Who was talking? Now, I want 2 people to tell me how they can use the information they've gotten today to help them navigate their current phase, which is their project initiation phase and their project scoping and all those things. Somebody should tell me how the information you have gotten today, especially when it comes to scalability, product scalability, when it comes to how you can work with in cross-functional teams. What important thing did you learn today? That's basically what I'm trying to ask. So this one, nobody will raise up hand, and I know. I'm going to point people that will give me answers. So very long way out of this one. And I'm going to go to Muis. If I give they've sent me voice note one day. I'm not listening to that voice. If I don't know how I want to start. So Muis, don't tell me ask the question again. Ask Muis. I should ask the question again. I don't like that. You're paying attention. So I said, all you've learned today, how can you use, or what do you think you've learned that can enable you better prepare your project or your product that you're building? Yeah? What's the most valuable thing you've gotten today that you picked to say, I can use this in this my project initiation phase?
So the thing I learned from this is ensuring that whatever
I'll ask you what you said.
Whatever team is building is something that for the long term to be useful for our users.
To be useful for your users. Alright, great. You guys together, but yeah. Ego, what did you learn? Let me see just the last.
I think that we should know why we are building the product we need to build, and also we should learn to communicate, overshare, especially in our teams. Sometimes we lack that, and we should learn to communicate.
Learn to communicate, to try together for her. Yes. One question we're asking.
Okay. So the question is, how will what you have learned here today affect how you approach your project going forward? Now you've learned collaboration, you've learned personal branding, you've learned building scalable products. How will what you've learned here today affect how you approach your projects going forward?
Know what you said. Did you get
Good afternoon. First of all, I think the first thing that I would really do is one of the things I think is my product designer mentioned about the presentation part. He said that you should not just focus on the feature, like when you're stating what you do. Don't just focus on the feature, but what that feature does. So as a product designer now, when I'm working on the project, I will not just be thinking, okay, what feature can I add? But it will be, what will this feature do that will help this product to grow? And if it will help the product to grow, how long will it help? How long can it be sustained? If it's not something that can be sustained for a long time, then just take it out and to look at other things like that. Because you made mention of, someone asked a question about having like something that when you have a feature like the same thing, that they are all important, but there's priority to the importance. So that's the first one. The second one would be the building aspect. That when you're building something, there's two things. The first one is design with failure in mind, something like that. Yes. Design with failure in mind, things something like that. So now, as I'm working on the design, or as I'm going to do it, I'll be thinking, what if this feature doesn't work? Then what else would happen, or what can I do ahead? Not that I won't want to wait till that feature fails. So I'm designing it with a mind that what if this particular feature doesn't work for this thing? Maybe as a designer, I will think, okay, this thing is going to work. But what if the user or another person uses that product? Because he made mention about scale being what someone else can use when they come in contact with it. So that's one. Designing with failure of mind and success, and not just success. Then the last one would be building something, of course. Whatever we are designing as a team would be something that will not just stay for a while, but something that will grow. And in the growth, the things we promise to the users still remain, not like, like, sorry, let me use this example. When Berry Blast came with a product, he said we should make a product. It was really good, but over time, the product just changed like that. Yes.
So what's Berry Blast?
It's a drink.
It's a drink?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let me just point out something. I think I sense some misunderstanding somewhere. When they say build for failure, also, there's something that he points out that you should, while you are building, you're not just building that your product will be successful, you're also building that there are times when it's going to fail. Now, when it fails, what are you going to do? It's not only in sense of building products. You're not saying when this feature fails, then what do we do? This feature will fail at some point. If it fails, what is the plan? So if this thing I'm doing, we are building it to be consistent and sustainable. But at the times when it fails, for example, thing comes on your platform and then there's internet connection, it's trying to do some other thing, internet goes off, and the API fails, what is happening? What happens at that point? So you're not just building for everything to work fine, you're building that sometimes you're going to fail. And when things fail, what are you putting in place to ensure that your platform is reliable? You understand? So that was that moment.
When you say fail, when you said if a feature fails, you start thinking about another thing. I think that was what you said, right? Yeah. So it's not just about quickly replacing a feature, right? It's more about improving the feature. So you've tried it this way and it fails, right? What do we do to make this better? Why is it failing? So that's where all your why is coming. You don't just quickly think about replacing a feature or because something doesn't work instantly, you just feel like that's failed. That's where all your why questions come in. So don't get that misunderstood.
I don't think that for you to say that you are building a feature and if it fails, you replace it. It's the initial idea for you to add a feature to your product. It means that most likely the users are the ones driving for the feature. So if the users are driving for the feature, it will get to a point where you want to replace it. Replacing it for who? Do you understand? So if you bring out a feature and the users don't need it, that's the point where you say it has failed. So if you are building with the user in mind, if you're building with the user-centric product building, you would get the product because users need it. It's valuable for the users. And if you build and it's failing, it means that you have not done it well. So it does not get to a point of replacement. It gets to a point of what you said now, making it better. You understand? Iterating and making it better. So that's for that one. Do we get one more person? Yeah.
I think I'm alone behind a lot of things as regarding that stuff. Generally, there's a concept of software system. When you get to product designers, you can read about it. It's what makes a good software system. So I remember there's something called stimulus, response time, source. There are about 6. Read about it. It will help you a lot. So when you are designing a project, if you don't consider all of these 6 factors, you are not building a software. So software system. Just when you get to quality of a good software system. So I know when you read about it, you see something like source, you see something like stimulus, you see something like response, you see something like response time. Those things are what will happen to a software, and the software must be able to stand the test of time of those 6 attributes. So you can also please read about it.
All right. Yeah. All this shit. You are the people that's sitting down here. What's your name for outside? Yes, sir. Why are there people outside? They're taking pictures. With those people that Mr. Nitu said don't have discipline, see them. Michael. Google. Come inside, great. So now we are going to take pictures. Desola, come. Alright, so let's take a walk outside and quickly take pictures so that we can wrap up and go. Please keep your things safely.
Yes.